Hi everyone, welcome to Storytime with Mrs Vaux, The Land of Raw by Jenny McLachlan, illustrated by Ben Mantle, chapter 25. We set off for the tangled forest at dawn. Rose wants us to fly there on the dragons, but Wynn's persuaded us to go looking for Mitch's rowing boat. Apparently there's a river that runs right into the tangled forest, so we trudge across the island hoping Mitch's boat is still moored in its usual spot. I don't get why Mitch even needs a boat, I say. Rose sighs. She's not just a mermaid, Arthur. She uses it when she's collecting ingredients for spells. But how does she even get into it? Mitch could move about on land by wriggling like a seal, but she didn't like doing it, and I can't imagine her regularly crossing this prickly meadow of grass and sea thistles. There's a tunnel that runs from the sea right into her store cupboard, says Rose. Then she scowls and mutters, or something like that. She's been like this since we woke up, trying hard to show she's not into raw. When we find the crack cutting across the middle of the meadow wider than I've seen it anywhere else, she just steps over it like she's stepping over a puddle. Look, Rose, I peer into the darkness. This crack runs all over raw. She rolls her eyes. It's just a crack, Arthur. It came 2 weeks and 2 days ago, says Wynne. I know because it was your birthday, and to celebrate I'd taken some cake up to the waterfall. Just as the sun was setting there was this massive earth wobble, and the crack appeared. The next day I followed it through the forest and over the dunes until it disappeared into the sea. Me and Arthur had a massive fight that day, says Rose. Then she marches forward, calling over her shoulder, Hurry up! We find Mitch's boat pulled up on a pebbly beach. From here we can see the Archie Plago spread out in front of us, each island glowing in the early morning light. But Rose barely glances at it. Instead, she grabs the front of the boat and starts heaving it towards the water. Help me, Arthur, she snaps. The sooner we get to the tangled forest, the sooner we can get Grandad and get out of here. That's another thing she's doing, ignoring Wynne and acting like he isn't here. Wynne doesn't seem to care. He just grabs the other end of the boat and starts pushing. Mitch's boat is a normal wooden rowing boat, but with jars crammed under the seat and in every corner. Lots of them still contain ingredients Mitch collected, and as we push the boat into the water, glowing ferns and wriggling blobs swish around in the jars. The moment the boat's afloat, we jump in, and Rose and I take the oars. We've barely left the island behind us when Rose starts complaining. You've got to row faster, Arthur, or we'll never make it to the tangled forest. You row faster, I say, but secretly I'm wondering if she's right. We don't seem to be making much progress. We need a bit of help, that's all, says Wynne. Give me your watch, Arthur. I hand him my Casio, and he leans over the side of the boat and starts splashing it about in the water. Come and get it, he calls. Arthur Trout's lovely watch. Wynne, what are you doing? It's water resistant, not waterproof. My words die away as a dark brown hand slips out of the water. Webbed fingers snatch my watch, then disappear again. There's the fingers snatching the watch out of the water. A second later, the head of a merboy appears. He has shell-encrusted skin, weed tangled in his hair, and his chest and shoulders are covered in intricate tattoos. He looks at us one at a time, his jet black eyes lingering on me and Rose. The gills at the side of his neck open and close with a wet, slurping sound. Then he says something that sounds a bit like fish, mish, de splish. Well, go on, Rose, says Wynne. Ask him. Rose looks at Wynne properly for the first time today. Ask him what? To pull the boat. She gives an exasperated laugh. How can I ask him that? I don't speak Mermish or whatever weird language he was speaking in. Yes, you do, says Wynne encouragingly. You're fluent. No, I'm not. Then Rose presses her lips together as if she's scared a few words of Mermish might pop out. Fine, keep rowing then, says Wynne, and he lies back on the bench, kicks off his trainers and dangles his bare feet over the side of the boat. Just try, Rose, I say. The minute I arrived in Raw, loads of stuff came back to me. Maybe it's the same with you and Mermish. Fine. Rose scowls at me, then moves closer to the merboy and starts whispering to him using lots of ishy-wishy words. It sounds just like one of the pretend languages we used to make up when we were little. But it can't be nonsense because the merboy is nodding his head and whispering back to her. Suddenly, Rose turns to me. Arthur, give me your socks. Why? He wants your socks. I don't know why. But he's not got feet. Look, do you want to go to the tangled forest or not? Yeah, Arthur, pipes up Wyn. What do you like more, your socks or your granddad? With a sigh, I take off my socks and hold them over the edge of the boat. The merboy's fingers close round them and he disappears with them under the water. Great, I say. He's gone and now I've not got my watch or any... With a sudden lurch, the boat shoots forward. I manage to grab on, but Wyn slams back into the jars between the seats. Mer power, he cries, as the merboy swims ahead of us, a rope held tightly in his sock-encased fist. The boat picks up speed, bumping over the waves and sending water spraying over us. Then I feel something bash against us. A moment later, a sleek tail flips out of the water and then a webbed hand grabs the side of the boat, followed by another and another. I look around and realise that the water is packed full of mermaids and merboys, all propelling us forward. Wyn scrambles back onto the bench as we fly over the surface of the sea. What did you say to him, Rose? I shout. She turns round and her hair whips across her face. I said I was Rose Trout, Master of Roar, and that we'd come back to save Roar and needed his help. Wahoo! Screams Wyn. Hear her roar! He attempts to high-five her, but she just scowls and bats him away like he's an annoying furry. That's the end of chapter 25. See you next time. Bye.